I recently moved from a smaller condo to a bigger condo. And as I was moving and packing, what I realized was there was a lot of stuff that I didn't need. And maybe that's part of the reason why I was running out of space, or at least didn't have space for the things that were important. I want to challenge everyone to listen and see if these are things that you see in your life. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and our welcome guests. Being out of space is difficult. And during the recent move, I've realized that there's a lot of things that I didn't need, both in physical space, which is also very important, but also in the mental space as well. So talking about physical space, during the move, I realized that there's a lot of things that I didn't need. Things that I thought, in 6 months, in 9 months, for sure I'm going to use this. I'll fit these pants because I'm going to lose weight and I'll fit them. I try them on every month. They'll be motivation for me. But I never touched it. It sat in my closet. It sat in my drawer. And as I was packing and moving my stuff, I felt there's so much that I don't need at this point in time. And if, I lose that weight, then maybe I can go and get a new pair of pants. In Asian culture, we also talk a lot about feng shui or the feng shui. And I know my mom used to teach me about how not to put certain things a certain way. My bed shouldn't have my feet point towards the door. And that also is a bit of challenge for me because there's so little space. So certain things had to change. Looking at physical space, I also had to look at my workspace as well as my car. So the home space is one piece, but the workspace needs to be functional and not cluttered. I found I had a lot of extra stuff when I was sitting on a Sunday morning as the folks were putting up the signage. There was so much paper, so much stuff that I just didn't need anymore. Things that were from 10, 20, 30 years ago that weren't even mine. So I had to think about it and I had to toss. And it looks so much better and so much more organized and more functional. I know where things are and everything that needs to be saved is electronic. I also took that time to take care of the car. I have so many grocery bags, and I don't know if any of you have this issue as well. Every time you go into the grocery store, they ask you, do you want paper or do you want a reusable bag? Because typically they don't have plastic at the grocery store anymore. Most non-Asian grocery stores anyway. So I found I have so many reusable bags in my trunk, and they're just all over the place. I couldn't find anything. I have cloths for cleaning the car in my car. There's so many things everywhere. So I had to organize. The decluttering, the donation of things that I didn't need was something that I needed to take care of because I was running out of physical space. As I was cleaning up the physical space, I realized that I needed to look at my mental space as well. I was running out of space in my mind for keeping the things that were important. I was at work constantly doing and filling in because we didn't have enough technicians. We didn't have enough pharmacists. I didn't have time to do my own work. So I ended up doing it at home or staying late to do it at work. There was not enough time when there's a massive onslaught of emails, both from work, from volunteer organizations, from home, from family. Everything was just been bombarded into my brain because I had to make sure I keep notes of everything. And it was getting a little bit stressful. It was getting to the point where I literally would pull up, I would rub my eyebrows actually, to the point where some parts were missing, as my esthetician had told me. And so at this point, I decided that I needed to make space in my mind, in my mental space, because I was running out of it. I took 2 weeks off of work. So this is actually my first week off of work. And I decided to do 2 things. One was to mute my phone, mute my work phone. I still have my other phone. I mute my work phone because every single email I get, it would ding, 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 and I would go check it because it was just habitual. So I had to turn it off. I put it on mute. On my last day before this vacation, I also left a very extensive notes for everyone so that I will be bothered at the most minimal amounts. And I took time for myself. I went to go scooter riding. I went out to eat with my boyfriend. And I think that was very important things for me to do. I'm looking forward to the rest of this week as well as to next week as well. Also, spending time on your mental state means growth. Let's say reading books, things that you're interested in, painting, doing puzzles. I also built a miniature car during this time. And also spending time with the people that you feel are important, or maybe your pets even. Things that are valuable, people who are valuable to you. This is taking care of you and making that mental space for you, which is so important. These 2 things, a physical space and the mental space, are 2 things that are important to not run out of space of. So you gotta keep working on it every single day to make sure that you don't accumulate too much, both in the physical space as well as in the mental space aspect. If you're finding yourself running out of space, just remember that you need to make some space for you.